talk about Lamar Jackson, whether or not he doing his thing right. I don't know if he gonna get that bag, dude.
I don't know what he's doing.
Dude, they setting him up.
We'll see.
They set him up for a big no.
This is gonna be interesting.
Yep. And then we got Cam Newton. Boy, did you hear about Cam Newton?
No. Oh, what he said about
women.
I didn't watch it, but yeah, I saw.
Dude, I didn't watch it, but I read it. They had on ESPN because Molly, Jalen, what's her name, wife?
Yeah.
She was mad as hell on first take this morning.
Oh, that's how we say ex-wife now.
Are they ex already?
Maybe like 6-7 months ago.
What? Damn, that didn't take long at all.
Jalen was done with it.
No,
I don't know, man. She looked like the type of person I couldn't be in a room with for over a month, let alone be married to.
Well, I don't know. She does kind of have her ways. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
What's up, Travis?
Hello.
Oh Lord! And then this guy wants Mark Jack. Don't do that.
Tom, what's up? Tom said he was looking for us last week. I forgot to hit the send button. I had made a little video telling everybody we wasn't gonna be on. And somebody called me right before I sent it. And I swore I had already sent it. Then I had about 5 people call me asking me what's going on with the show. I was like, God damn, I went back and looked, hadn't sent it.
Yeah, everybody was busy last week.
I'm going to have to tell on Tom. I went to the movie theater the other night, and Tom was there. No butter. No butter for the popcorn.
No butter.
You ever heard a movie theater have no butter?
No butter.
Have popcorn. No butter.
I've had the broken button that they can't get the butter out. But
no butter. No butter.
Y'all gotta close down.
And then while I'm sitting up there talking to Tom about it, this little white lady came up there and said, "Excuse me, sir, there's no butter on my popcorn." And Tom had to tell her, "Oh, we don't have any." She's like, "What?" She's worse than me. She was like, "No butter in a movie theater?" I was like, I just stepped back.
That's when you gotta say, "Can I get $4 off of my popcorn?" Then
I said, "Ma'am, I'm sitting up here feeling the same kind." No, I didn't want none. After that, I didn't even want my popcorn. And there ain't no butter. You can forget that. I don't want it.
I've never heard of that. A movie theater with no butter.
That was the first.
Yeah, that's an ultimate no.
There's no butter. All right, Travis, let's roll it. Me and Irv got things to do.
Say the clock. Oh, you already know what it is, man. Ooh and J, they coming through. Straight no chaser. Straight from the hip.
Straight from the hip, don't need no script, just need a microphone. My man Coach Boo gon' take you to the entertainment zone. They got the stats of this and that to keep this show on point. And when we're done, we have some fun and rock this funky joint. So if you will, sit back and chill, give us a chance to show ya. If one of y'all would like to call, we'll talk just like we know ya. We take control, then start the roll, and then there ain't no stopping. It's time to dip straight from the hip. Hey, y'all. Let's get it poppin'.
Hey, welcome to Straight from the Hip. I'm your host, Coach Gerald Boo Mitchell, coming to you live, Imperial Palace on Black Mania. Miss Peavy, what's going on? Gotta say hello to Miss Peavy. Miss Peavy, I'm gonna tell on Tom. Uh-oh. Tom had me come to the movie theater the other night, didn't have no butter for the popcorn. Have you ever heard of a movie theater with no butter, Miss Peavy? And I've heard movies there say, "Hey, we ran out of popcorn. We ran out." They had no butter. I mean, it's the first for everything. It's the first for everything. No butter for the popcorn. I'm so glad, Tom, that happened with you, so that I can always remember that experience being happening with you, and say that it happened with my buddy Tom no butter at a theater was some damn movie theater popcorn. What's going on? Talk to me.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I had some butter on my popcorn.
Did you really?
Yeah.
You might have had too much butter on your popcorn.
Look, don't be talking about my reviews, all right?
OJ said that's like the Waffle House not having any waffle. I ain't mad at you, OJ. I agree.
Right. I hop with no pancakes.
Man.
Cracker Barrel with no. All right, let's go to the show.
You wrong for that. Anyway. Yeah, we're sorry we weren't here last week, so we're going to talk about some last week's stuff here in a few minutes. But we're going to start off with a little bit of bad news. I guess everybody heard Dwayne Haskins, quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And he's moved around a little bit in the NFL, but he was killed, hit by a dump truck. I saw today they said it was a dump truck. It went from being hit by a car to hit by a truck. And today I read it was a dump truck that hit him and killed him. Age 24, had just been married, they said, for about a little bit over 6 months. And just a tragedy. I mean, say what you want to say about him as a quarterback, but I mean, for the fact that he only lived to be 24 years old, and I know Cameron Hayward and know his whole family, mom, father who's deceased and whatnot, and know that family very well. Cameron Hayward spoke so highly of him, and I'm telling you right now, if you know Cameron Hayward like I know Cameron Hayward ain't gonna speak good about somebody if they weren't good. He'll just say no comment and keep walking. But he talked about how he was just the most likable guy you've ever seen. And, of course, he went to Ohio State like Cameron did. So, but like I said, it impacted me because Bradley Roby, who is also one of my kids, and Bradley knew him personally. And Bradley was impacted by it. And so, like I said, that impacted me. What do you think about that, Earl?
Yeah. So crazy thing is he's not from the DC area, but he did go to school here in this area. So a lot of people that know Bullis High School is one of the top educational programs in the area. Mm-hmm. So I've been hearing about him since his high school days. Got to see a couple of high school games. So, I was there before the Ohio State days. So, it's you hate to see young people, even if you don't like them, to lose their life at such a young age.
Tell me about it.
24 is entirely too young. Me personally, I have a friend that was a photographer for Washington. Never said a bad thing about him when he was in Washington, even with all the negativity that was coming down on him. Everybody that's surrounded themselves around him just says he is a legit good guy.
Good guy. Yep.
So to see this, and I also heard he was actually on his way to the airport to get out of South Florida to come back to Pittsburgh. And I just found out who his wife was, and in that family. So many blessings to his wife because she lost her father early last year. So she's getting double pain in 2 years. So it's just painful to see any of that stuff come to anybody.
That's crazy. That's terrible. That's terrible. Mr. Peavy, I wouldn't admit I was Atlanta Falcons and nobody. Mr. Peavy gonna come in here in the chat talking about Atlanta Falcons in the house.
Yeah, you can go ahead and take that out.
Can you believe he had the audacity to put that down there? But that's a Falcon fan. That's a Falcon fan for you right there.
Until he can tell us who his quarterback is.
I don't even have nothing about the Falcons on this schedule. Let me look on my schedule to talk about stuff tonight. Atlanta Falcons ain't on here nowhere. But you know what? Since you want to do that, and this is one of the reasons why I hate to write up this thing as early as I do. Because it's always breaking news. And I know some breaking news I need to talk to you about, Irv, is
what's that?
Those lying-ass commanders cheating and stealing people's money and stuff. Dude, I'm so damn sick of Dan Snyder. And they called him by name in the article I read.
Good.
It was institutional stealing.
Good.
Basically. And they said him and upper management had told the workers to do what they were doing, to cheat those people out of their money, and also defrauding the league, basically.
But the crazy thing is, you think you're gonna hide it from 29 other owners?
Dude, that's what I'm saying. I mean, it's insane to me. I mean, if they don't kick him out of the league for this right here, dude, I mean, they'll let you do anything. They'll let you do anything. Y'all, if y'all haven't heard that story, know what we're talking about. They said that some way they were handling the ticket stubs and whatnot. They should have been refunding some of the patrons' money for tickets, and they weren't doing that. And they were also hiding some of the money that they were earning, which they're supposed to turn into the NFL, so that everybody gets their cut or whatever. They were basically taking some off the top before they turned in the money that goes into the profit sharing and all that other stuff between all the owners and all that. So basically, he was just stealing at the end of the day. Now,
because I forgot how they did it. It's like an average, and then they take the median and share it with all the owners.
I know. I can't remember.
Whatever you make over is what you keep.
Yeah. But that's one story I heard. Another one, I was watching First Take this afternoon, watching the replay, and they had Cam Jordan on there. And Cam Jordan was listing his 5 favorite quarterbacks that he liked sacking. And like he sacked Michael Vick one time in like three times in one game. So he had Michael Vick on his list. But guess who number 1 was on his list? Matty Ice. And do you know why?
You got to be kidding me.
Do you know why? In Cam Jordan's career, so far, he has 107 sacks. 23 of them were Matty Ice. 23 out of 107 sacks. And they said, well, have you ever talked to him about that and all the sacks you got to get? He said, yeah. He said, I told his ass, thank you for making me a damn.
Wow.
You came on here talking that Falcon shit, Peavy. So don't be trying to get out of it now.
You set yourself up for that one.
I wasn't even gonna mention that tonight. I was gonna save it for the rainy day. But here you gonna come in here talking about Falcons in the building and all that bullshit. So now I said it. And go back and look at First Take. It is funny as hell to watch.
I'm gonna look at it.
Cam Jordan like, what I need to talk to you about? I talk to you about nothing. He's out there for thank you for feeding my children.
No, I'm gonna take a look at that.
23 out of 107 sacks have been against Matt Ryan. Isn't that something else?
That's crazy.
That is insane. I mean, that's just extra. I mean, some of y'all don't really get it and don't understand. I mean, that's if somebody had told me that and I hadn't heard, I'd be like, hey, that's a lie. Ain't no way in the hell he sacked that man those 23 times. I mean, it ain't that many games that I played for him to be sacking him those 23 times.
20% of your sacks.
Yes.
Are against Matt Ryan.
Guy. On one guy.
That's crazy. And he's played what, almost 10 years?
Is it not? Next up, Lamar Jackson. Everybody knows Lamar Jackson is in his final year. He's in the 5th year of his rookie contract. And normally, I would say by this time, for a normal quarterback, they pretty much have already renegotiated something or got something planned that, you know, they're going to take care of you, and they go ahead and announce it and give you an addition, whatever, or extend your contract or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson's got no extension.
Smart man.
And Lamar Jackson just kind of sitting back in the cut, kind of waiting for things to unfold. My question to you all is he doing the right thing? Is Lamar Jackson doing the right thing, or should he be more vocal and be like, wait a minute, if I was any other quarterback in this league, I would have had an extension by now. Is he doing the right thing, or is he doing the wrong thing? Y'all help me out, Miss Peavy. Tom, y'all talk to me and tell me, how should Lamar be handling it? I'm going to let Irv tell me first. Tell me, Irv.
The exact way he's handling it now. He is waiting for all the people in his class to get that money so he can say, hey, I'm the only one with an MVP. So what you going to do? Honestly, man, like, at first I was like, all right, like your last year, you kind of want to get that stability as soon as possible. But now that I see every other quarterback is getting their money, go ahead and wait until you can see if you can maximize what you can get.
I don't know, because my whole thing is that I think he knows that Baltimore is up to something, because John Harbaugh has always said, he's a different kind of quarterback. He's not the typical quarterback, and we've just accepted that and we live with it. And they built their team around him, knowing that he has, deficiencies in throwing the football and with them moving the football. But nonetheless, he's successful in what they do, and they go to the playoffs every year and all that good stuff. But at the end of the day, can you win a Super Bowl with him? And I think that will be the caveat that they're going to put at him. Like, yeah, you were MVP and all that, but we still haven't made it to a Super Bowl.
Right.
And so with that being said, we can kind of hold him back from getting that big bag. Because, the bag now is up at like $50 million. I mean, like, that's what we're looking at now. I mean, yeah. Joker's making $50 million a year.
But it's crazy, though. So the interesting thing is, with his style of play, you're not going to overspend for a wide receiver, because when has he ever thrown to a wide receiver?
I agree. But I mean, talent? But that's what I'm saying. I mean, and unfortunately for Lamar, obviously, you can be like Tom Brady and still throw the football, but the way he runs and whatnot, that's going to slow down. I mean, that's definitely going to slow down over the next 3 to 5 years, maybe even like 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
That speed thing's going to end, and all that cutting and juking and jiving and all that other stuff. Something's going to slip, or something's going to break, or, something's going to herniate or whatever. And he's not going to be that guy anymore. And I think they know that as well. So that's another reason for saying, now, if I'm Lamar, I'm like, okay, that's fine. Just give me a 1-year extension. Give me 50 mil, and I'm out.
I'm telling you, he's gonna pull one of those deals where it's gonna be like a 2 or 3 year deal, a 3rd year option, or something crazy like that.
Okay. I would love to hear what y'all had to say. Hey, Richard, Hood's in here. What Travis talking about? How many playoff wins does he have? I just said that, Travis. I said he might have 1 or 2. I don't know. I think he does have at least 1. I know. I think last year he got 1. Did he not? 1 and 3. There you go. Yeah, 1 and 3. Yeah, Mr. P say he's gonna be like RG3.
Well, he didn't get hurt his first year, so he's already better than that.
Yeah. I know one thing. I hate seeing RG3 as a commentator on TV.
It's terrible.
He got to do something with his hair.
It's terrible.
Yeah, dude. He just, oh my God.
He got this shaved military style, and then got that crazy.
He just look like a salamander or something. I don't know what it is. It's just his face looks so skinny, and he just don't even look real. He look like somebody made a camel into like a person. You know what I'm talking about? He got a long face. I'm just telling you. Y'all know what I'm talking about, Joe. Y'all me laughing. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Something don't look right with RG3 up there when they always get him with the camera like this. You know what? All you can see is face. You know what I'm talking about? When you like, damn, back up on the camera, so.
But that's his fault. The camera's in his house.
Man, I don't know. I'm just telling you. He just don't look right to me. I mean, he always has some good stuff to say, but it just takes a little while to get used to. Damn, that don't even look right there.
That's funny.
But anyway, what you say, Mr. B? Mr. B said one of these things from Men in Black. Men in Black. Yeah, you right about that, Mr. B. He could definitely walk on them. He could walk on the set of MI Black with no makeup. You walk right on out there.
I shouldn't be laughing at this. I shouldn't be laughing at this right now.
Well, I hope and pray that Lamar Jackson gets taken care. Listen, I have learned to appreciate him for who he is. And I mean, at the end of the day, he moves the ball down the field. He scores, he does things, he's not showy. His teammates seem to love him, the organization loves him, everything else. I hope he gets something. I hope he at least gets, a good 50 mil.
Yeah.
And if he just get 50 mil, I'll be happy for him. I'm not gonna lie. Now, everybody sitting up there like, how can you be glad with him getting 50 when these other jokes getting 250 and 230 and all this other stuff? Dude, I'm just telling you. I don't want to see that man get done wrong. And I don't want to see somebody giving him no 30 mil or something like that. Because, see, I can see him signing a 35, 40 mil contract or whatever, getting hurt. Now he only got 40 mil. Get that man his 50 mil, let him go on about his business, and I'm good. Yeah. That's me. But I know he ain't that. I know that ain't him, and I know that ain't his agent. So
he don't have an agent.
He don't have an agent.
Mm-mm.
That's just hard. That's all I can tell you.
That's what everybody's saying. The part of the problem, he don't have an agent.
Miss P said that's what happened to Cam. He tried to prove every critic wrong instead of playing his game. You right. Hope he doesn't fall victim to that as well. You right about that, Miss P. Speaking of Cam, that's our next item up.
Segue.
I'm glad I got a female on here tonight. I need Hood, go get your wife so I can talk to these ladies. I need to hear, because Miss Carrie ain't on the show tonight. I need to hear what these women think about Cam's comments. Miss Peavy, did you hear Cam's comments? Did you get a chance, Nancy Peavy? Mr. Peavy, did you get a chance to hear Cam's comments about women, about how they can't cook and they don't know when to shut up, don't know when to be quiet, and they don't know how to let the man lead? Yeah. Is that what you say? Yeah, Miss Peavy, you say, yeah. Are you agreeing with Cam? We need to get this up. We need to get this on.
Bad bitch is
a person who I found it.
Play it, so everybody can hear.
Girl, I'm a bad bitch. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I look the part, but I don't act the part.
Okay.
And it's a lot of women who are bad bitches. And I say bitches in a way, not to degrade a woman, but just to go off the aesthetic of what they deem is a boss chick.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
okay, so it's crazy.
A woman for me is,
he basically said,
hold on, let him go on that with a woman for me.
Knowing how to cater to a man's needs, right?
And back that up just about 5 seconds.
Like I'm a boss bitch a lot of time, but knowing how to cater to
behind that one.
Yeah, back that up just a second.
A woman for me is,
yes, it is,
handling your own, but knowing how to cater to a man's needs, right? And I think a lot of times when you get that aesthetic of like, I'm a boss bitch, like I'm a this, I'm a that. No, baby, but you can't cook.
Okay.
You don't know when to be quiet. You don't know how to allow a man to lead.
That's him.
That's him.
That's your boy. That's your boy right there, Mr. P. Now, I know Mr. P for a long time. He's always told me that Cam has been a hero of his for a long time. Ain't that right, Mr. P? Yeah, Miss Peavy. Miss Peavy hadn't heard that. That's breaking news right there from Miss Peavy. That's what I'm talking about.
So, Miss Peavy, you got to remember, his longtime girlfriend was a Charlotte stripper. But the crazy thing is, so when I first saw this interview, I saw the part where he was talking about the guys. I didn't hear about the part where he was talking about the women. And he dogged out dudes too.
No, did he really? Well,
women
he got that metrosexual thing going on. So
women like to nitpick and like to point out the fact that they talk about them.
Mm-hmm.
But you haven't heard not one guy talk about the male part that he said. And it was interesting.
I haven't. Listen, you know me. I'm sitting up here watching First Take, and when I tell you that Molly went off about this thing today, she was hot.
But the crazy thing is, her going off is proving his point. So the thing is, you can still be a woman. You can still do what you want to do, but when the situation is right, be the wife.
I got you.
All he's saying. People like to take pieces and put it together and be like, "Oh, you're saying I can't talk? What are you trying to say?" That's not what he's saying.
Here's my thing. Here's my thing. If I'm Cam Newton, and I've been in the NFL as long as I've been in the NFL, if I don't know by now how to shut the hell up, that's what he needs to do, shut the hell up and damn play football. I mean, that's my whole thing. You a free agent, an unrestricted free agent. You need to be going to play for the damn. If Jacksonville will take your ass, go down there and play. You need to go wherever you can go, and you probably by your little interview you did, your little ghetto magazine interview you did, you probably have eliminated at least half the teams in the NFL won't even touch you now because of these remarks that you made. And all you're doing is hurting yourself. And I can't tell you how many times I've seen this over the course of his career that he does something like this. And then, I mean, I'm not even going to lie to you. I thought it was funny as hell when I sat there and saw the way they were just eating his ass up on TV today. Let's see what people said. I had actually given him some respect that he gave an interview about why he didn't marry the mother of his children. But I've lost all respect for him after that comment and what Irv just said about who his girlfriend is and was.
Hey, yeah, it was. So, and the funny thing is, he found out that in the state of North Carolina, if you're with a woman a certain amount of time, legally, they can consider themselves wife privileges.
Yeah.
So he broke up with her like a month before.
Common law married. There you go. Mm-hmm.
But no. So yeah, and also in that interview, he was talking about how guys need to start acting more like men and doing a whole bunch of other stuff as well. So he said his piece. But yeah, the one thing that I hate when subject matter comes to a point where I'm directed towards a certain person that is not able to accept what I'm saying, I'll never say it. Because he literally is saying something that he experienced with his grandparents, his parents, his great-grandparents, and how they enjoyed and lived their life and was married for 40, 50, 60 years. Mm-hmm. And how that is not equating to right now because of the woman's mentality of saying, I don't need a man.
Well, let me explain something to you. And I don't know what world he's living in or anybody else is living in. If you don't know how sensitive people are these days.
It's new damn.
Dude, I messed around today in the gym and used the word retarded as it's supposed to be used. Like, you know, my arms aren't acting right or whatever the case may be because they're acting retarded to, you know, the rest of my body. And somebody said to me, you can't use that word. I said, first of all, don't tell me what the hell I can use it. And I said, I'm speaking of it in terms of the way that my body, my arm is reacting to the rest of my body. And they said, I know, but that's just a word you can't even say these days. And that's what I'm saying. Just saying the word. For him to be saying this stuff about how a woman is supposed to be catering to a man, dude, let me stop.
But look what he's wearing, though. What is that?
Yeah, that's him.
A top hat with a Superman shirt, and they can't see the Superman shirt because my light is crazy.
That's him.
With a sport jacket.
I know, that's him. He probably high too, but I mean that's you know, I know, you know, they football players stay high because they in pain so much, but that's that whole metrosexual thing. I mean that's it. So, Miss P said she never said she didn't need a man. Oh.
And Miss Peavy, you got your man, right?
I know. That's why she tried to tell Mr. Peavy he better be quiet.
He ain't said nothing yet.
He ain't said that.
Hey, he knows the man's place.
I know. She got that blanket down there on that couch waiting for you, man.
Yeah, he looks like Superfly.
He look worse than Superfly, Mr. Peavy.
It ain't. Yeah, this is bad.
I know. I try, and I really do try to feel sorry for him, but I can't. I can't feel sorry for him because he always gonna do something stupid. I just resigned myself to that fact a long time ago. He gonna do something stupid. Real quickly, we're gonna reflect back. So we're gonna let Travis come in if you want to, because we're gonna talk about his Gamecocks. Carolina women won the Natty last week. I mean, my whole thing about it is that I picked them to win too. I mean, I ain't gonna act a fool like Travis is about it. I mean, I picked them to win because I like Donald Staley, and you know if I had to pick up them versus UConn, I'm damn sure going. I'm an SEC guy, so I would definitely take them. So I'm glad they won. To be honest with you, Irv, what you think about you, the basketball guy? I know you probably wanted Connecticut.
Absolutely not. Now there's a player for Connecticut that's from the area that I wanted to win, but no, I definitely had South Carolina winning. I actually had them playing NC State, but NC State got robbed out of the game they played. But
they did.
Yeah. Congratulations, Don Staley. First black coach to win 2 national championships.
I honestly think if she keeps coaching, I mean, she'll get a string of them. I mean, I don't know how many. I'm not going to sit up and say some dumb number like 12. I'm going to say this, though, and I've been watching Dawn Staley for years. She looks more irritated every time I see her coaching. And it just seems to me like at some point, it's just time to stop coaching. You know, when you just look like you mad all the time. Gino used to look like that, too. Gino RM, he used to look the same way, just irritated. And now he's kind of softened a little bit. And he's not as mean and ugly as he used to be. Dawn Staley looked like she just mean. Just like, you know, just walk around with a fist ball up, like my daddy used to say. Like, just walk around with a fist ball up looking to punch somebody. That's how she looks to me. And I just don't know how long you can coach that way and, you know, and continue to be successful and continue to have good health because you are acting that way all the time. Because you're not going to win championships all the time. If the only thing going to make you happy and make you smile and unball your fists and all that other thing, win a national championship, that ain't going to happen all the time.
No.
And I mean, and if that's what it's going to take to make her happy, I just don't see her being able to continue for too much. So that's why, you know, you can't say they're going to win it every year or win it next year or this or that or the other. So anyway, Travis, go ahead and say something so you can go ahead and get your thing on because we about to move on.
Yep. No, it was total domination. Not only that game, but just basically them the whole season. They were the best team all season. They hardly had any close games all year. Yeah, they did lose 2 games during the season. They lost 2 games by a total of 3 points. So at both games came on, they lost when the other team had hit a bucket with under 5 seconds to go. So you know, they dominated. They dominated UConn. At the end of the first quarter, it was something like 23-8 or something like that. Like UConn just did not have an answer for them. I said on the show 2 weeks ago, I thought it was going to be Stanford, and I thought Stanford would have been a really good game against South Carolina. I still would have picked South Carolina, but I thought Stanford, South Carolina was the best 2 teams in the country all year. And I think that would have been a much better game. But it was total domination. And they're going to be, you know, Coach, I know you say don't count on championships, you know, every year. And I'm not, because every year is a different year, right? And teams rebuild and teams are different every single year. South Carolina's losing 1 player off of this team. And now it's Destiny Henderson, who's the girl that had 26 points in the championship game. So she by no means is not just like some player. She's really good. But Aaliyah Boston, who was the best player in the country and the MVP of the tournament, is coming back and is going to be a senior. So they're going to be real difficult to beat again this year.
She might have been the MVP of the tournament. She wasn't MVP of that game. That point guard was MVP of that game.
Agreed. But she won. She won the MVP, even though Destiny Henderson should have won it. They gave it to Aaliyah Boston. I think they gave it to her as a tournament MVP, which they needed to be more specific on because Destiny Henderson should have won. If it was for MVP of the game, Destiny Henderson should have won it.
And just so you know, I don't know how many of y'all noticed this too. They don't call it the MVP anymore. They call it the MOP, most outstanding player, not most valuable, most outstanding. I I kind of laughed at that because I'm like, I know people in my era are going to keep saying MVP because we've always known to be the MVP.
Right.
And now they've changed to the MOP because some dumbass psychologist or somebody out there said that calling somebody most valuable demeans everybody else on the team or some kind of dumb shit to make it what they're going to now call it the MOP. And actually print that shit on TV. MOP award goes to this and that and whatever. So anyway.
I did real quick. I know we're gonna move on to the men's game. I did like the touch right at the end. Dawn Staley called timeout and brought all of her bench players and had them play the last minute or so, minute 20 seconds. So and literally sat all the starters and had the 5 bench players that never play. She said you can go out and play, and then that way they can always say I played in a national championship game. Yeah. I know it was only for a minute or something, a minute 30 seconds, but I thought that was a nice touch for for those girls that they're going to remember that for the rest of their life and can always say that they not only won a national championship because they're on the team, but they got to play in the game.
All right, how you feel about that? How you feel about it?
I loved it, but not only that, she made sure that she mentioned every last one of those players' names at the podium.
Yep.
Yeah.
She said, listen, these girls didn't get a chance. They don't get to shine because the talent is just that much different. But these girls worked their butt off to make us that way all season long in their entire careers if they were sophomores or juniors since coming to South Carolina. And you don't see that from a lot of coaches.
I agree. But here's my thing. I'm going to tell you this. I like to shine at the podium, mention their names and all that. Don't put my baby out there for no 1 minute. Don't put my baby out there in that last minute.
You got to make sure the game out of hand.
You're going to let my baby at halftime. She can be wearing jeans on the sideline so we can get the hell out of there after the game is over. She just come on up in the stands, and she ain't got to ride back on the bus. She can ride on back with me in the car. She ain't got to go back to the dressing room after because don't be putting my baby out there for no damn 1 minute. Mr. P, if you going to let them put your baby out there for 1 minute, Richard Hood, you going to be sitting around there waiting on your baby to go out there for 1 damn minute after and it's winning by 30?
Oh.
Hell no. Hell no. Don't put my baby out there.
Well, I also think there's a difference between a random game and a national championship game, right? So, regular season, maybe you're right. National championship, that's an important game.
Hey,
again,
y'all need to read.
They got to play in a national championship game.
Y'all need to read what people are saying in this box over here.
I see it, and
I'm trying to tell you right now. Don't put my baby out there. I'm telling you right, hell no. Hell no. I've always said that. I'm telling you right now, I've said that forever. I mean, it's one thing if you're going to put me in after halftime or something like that, but to go out there I was asked as an offensive coordinator to who was that guy? Oh my God. He played quarterback at Florida State, then went to the NFL. Brad somebody, I can't remember. But anyway, his son was playing for us, and we were winning the game, and he wasn't even supposed to really be on the team. And we let him on the team because Dad was like, listen, I'll pay for everything. Just let him on the damn team. So we let him on the team. So we beating the hell out of somebody, and I let the second team quarterback go in and do his thing. And y'all said I didn't have to play this kid because he ain't even good enough to play. Man, they tried to get me to get him out there and let him go out there and take a knee. Take a knee. Just go out there and take a knee, Herb. What is that?
Yeah, I don't know.
I just wanted him to be able to say he played. I said, you the head coach. If you want him, you tell him to go out there and do it. I ain't putting his ass in there for that. Put him in there to go in there and take a knee. And do that. And the thing about it is it's so dangerous to do that because, your center ain't used to who getting the snap and this and another. It's not even a good idea to do that. And I tried to tell them that, but I was so mad because that's why you don't do those kind of things. And to me, I've never coached a basketball game. I played basketball, never coached. As a coach, I would never do that to somebody and be like, yeah, man, go on out there. And have somebody that's trying to shoot one from 90 feet so they can say they shot one or hoping they touched the rim. And the worst thing that can happen to you is you mess around, get out there and score, And then everybody treats you like you one of Jerry's kids and stuff. You know, they running all out on the court, getting technicals and everything. Because, you know, like it's Make-A-Wish Foundation.
So
don't treat my baby like she in the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
But you know what the crowd does though? Like it'd be like 3 or 4 minutes left in the game. They chanting people's names on the bench to get in the game.
Yeah. Oh, they yelling at you to shoot and all that. No, man, don't do my child like that. Don't do my baby like that. No, sir.
That could be a memory that kid has for the rest of their life.
Yeah, I know. It could be. It could be. And then they could have been a girl or a boy too. They could have been the opposite of what they were. So we ain't talking about no woulda, shoulda, coulda. we talking about life. Don't put my baby out there for those last minute. I'm tell you that right now.
Coach over here crushing kids' dreams.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I tell you what, I got a bunch of people saying I'm right. I'm telling you that right now.
You're right, though.
That's right. Hood said that's a mockery of the game. I ain't mad at you, Hood.
No, he's talking about that taking a knee.
Yeah.
Oh, no. You know, when you got to take a knee, the game is over. Everybody knows you take knees when the game is over.
Now they got -2 yards on their season resume.
Matt said that. Matt's an attorney. He said that 1 minute absolutely doesn't feel good. Doesn't feel good. I'm trying to tell y'all crazy as hell. Anyway, moving right along. Let's talk about the men. I didn't even see the game. I was on a doggone Zoom conference call that lasted forever. And I think I switched over to it. When I switched over, they were getting drilled at the time. North Carolina was winning by like 15 points. And I was like, holy shit, because somebody in the culture chatter said Kansas sucks. And I was like, wait a minute. So I quickly, with my phone, I was on a conference call, with my phone, went over just to see the score. And North Carolina was winning by 15 points. I was like, holy shit. And the first thing I thought about was, I've known the Peavies for a long time. And all of a sudden, Miss Peavy tells me about how she's the #1 North Carolina fan in the world. And I'm just discovering all this stuff. She done ran outside at 3 o'clock in the morning and took a picture of her license plate to show me that because her license plate says something about go some kind of shit for North Carolina or whatever. And I'm just like, okay, I'm going to have to put up with Peavy for a whole year because North Carolina going to beat the shit out of damn Kansas. Dude, I wake up the next morning at like 3 o'clock in the morning and TV's still on. I get my eyes and I look and I'm like, wait a minute. They got the score backwards. ESPN got the score backwards. And then I look up there and come to find out UNC done got walked down by Kansas, got the hell beat out of them. And I'm thinking, well, it was a good year for Hubert Davis because they finna fire his ass now. That's what I'm thinking. Like, because I'm telling you, when that happened in a game like that, you're going to blame it on coaching. I'm telling you that right now. It don't matter. You can say whatever you want to say. You can say, well, they weren't hot. They weren't this, that. That's coaching. That's going. Irv, am I right or wrong? Or do you need to ask the Laker coach about what I'm wrong?
And don't get me started about it. Ain't the Lakers coach, it's LeBron. LeBron is the coach, okay?
Oh,
LeBron
we know
that.
The coach,
the GM,
the owner, everything. But anyway,
yeah, it was bad.
What do you think about the national championship game, Irv?
I was disappointed for multiple things. For one, as soon as Kansas got into a rhythm, I'd have called timeout quick as day. Like he just let them keep playing.
That's my point.
Keep burying themselves.
Blame on the coach. There you go, coach.
And then on offense, they were just not playing the same offensive style that they did in the first half that gave them that lead. And like I'm watching the game, like, did you guys decided to change something? Like, as a coach, you want to continue to do stuff that works until they stop it, and then you make adjustments. But you got to a 15-point lead doing something that got you to the championship game.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just decide to let your team just run rampant. But no, as soon as it got to 9 points, I'd have called timeout. Nah, we're gonna stop this right now.
I agree.
But,
guys, I don't know if you've ever really played basketball. You know what Irv's talking about? I'm telling you right now, if you really want to learn about basketball, take the ball and pass it to a shooter. Just chest pass. Pass it to him. Let him shoot. He hit the shot. When it comes out of the net, catch that ball and chest pass it to him again. Chest pass it to him again. He'll keep hitting. Then all of a sudden, bounce pass the ball to him and watch him. I mean, am I right, Irv?
They be out of rhythm.
Irv, am I right?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, that's all it takes to get him out of rhythm. Just that much. Just by giving him a bounce pass. Can you imagine what a 5-minute timeout is going to do? I mean, they're going to be all out of rhythm. And that's why you call a timeout in those situations to stop. Watch the NBA all the time. That's when they call timeouts to stop those runs.
Look, just happened.
Man, we got to get these jokes out of rhythm.
Look, Cleveland was down 19. They just cut it to 12. Timeout.
Miss Peavy said Kenny Smith jinxed it and said, as long as UNC doesn't turn over the ball, we will be good. In the first 2 minutes of the second half, 5 turnovers just like that.
Listen, I'm going to tell you guys something about Kenny Smith. Don't ever listen to nothing he says. Man, he talks out of his knock knees every time that he talks about basketball. It is so irritating because he knows what he's talking about, but he always says the wrong things. Like
he does. And I'm a Kenny Smith fan. I don't like what he talks about most of the time. I'm a Kenny Smith fan, though. Go ahead, Travis.
Did you guys see the video of it was coming to the end of the game and Charles Barkley was just going ham on Kenny Smith?
Oh, I bet.
Hovering over him like, what now? What now? Yeah, UNC, what now?
Doing the YMCA over his head.
Yeah. And Kenny Smith just sitting there shaking his head like, I can't believe we lost that
just
game.
picking up his phone.
And they should feel bad. And the person who should feel bad the most out of everybody, out of Kenny Smith, out of the coach, out of everybody, the person who should feel the worst is Miss Peavy. That's who ought to feel the worst out of everybody. Out of everybody. I'm gonna remind you. I'm gonna remind her, hey, I'm gonna get me a shirt that's got the score on it on the front. So every time Miss Peavy see me when I'm walking around GFL this year, I'm going to have a shirt that says Kansas 190 and North Carolina 13, whatever. I'm just going to make me up a score. Make sure. Yeah, you cheated when you beat Duke. Y'all cheated that game. But that game's under review anyway. But anyway, I'll tell you what, though. This was probably the most pleasurable NCAA March Madness I've seen in a long time. I mean, there were a lot of good games, a lot of close games, even games when they were talking about, like, I thought either North Carolina or Duke was going to blow out one another in the semifinals. I'm like, everybody act like it's going to be a close game. One team going to get hot and blow the hell out of the other one. Because that's what normally happens in those kind of games, because there's too much anticipation that it's going to be a great game. And it winds up being an old turd game where, one team just beats the brakes off the other. But, dude, that UNC North Carolina Duke game was as good as one as I've ever seen.
Yeah, that was a great game.
That was a great game.
Yeah, that was a great game. That was a great game. I sat there watching that, and I'm like, I don't know who's going to win this. Like, you had to wait until the final buzzer to know because each team was knocking down shots. Each team was playing good defense. Maybe not the greatest defense, but good enough. Like, coaches were doing, good play calls. Yeah, I don't know if this was the greatest NCAA tournament in terms of all around for the men. I'm going to be honest with you. I enjoyed the women's college NCAA tournament better than the men's this year. The women's March Madness had some legit good games. There were a lot of them. I thought the women's March Madness was, as a whole, better than the men's March Madness this year.
It just depends. I mean, y'all, because I like watching women's basketball. I like watching women's softball. A lot of times I'd have my TV Like right now, instead of watching NBA basketball, I'd rather watch women's softball. I like watching women's softball. I mean, you know, I used to coach it. My daughter used to play it, and I have an appreciation for it. But I'm a fan of the sport. I'm a fan of the sport of women's basketball. Irv has said that about the WNBA a lot of times, that we don't give them the props that they deserve.
Yeah.
So anyway, and those of you who don't know this, Brittany Griner is still being held abroad, but her team has said that they're going to pay her full salary for the year.
Yep.
I saw that they did mention that on the bottom line.
And last night was the WNBA draft, and it was announced that every owner in the WNBA is going to be contributing to Brittany Griner's charity fund or foundation or whatever the official title of her charity group, to support her charity group, which gives homeless individuals, I think, shoes and clothes. And then every single owner in the WNBA said, we're going to donate X amount of dollars to her foundation specifically, to one, just to raise awareness, but two, hopefully it can help bring her home.
Well, maybe they'll make Daniel Snyder give some of his money too with his cheating, lying ass. Maybe we can do that. Anyway, all right, real quick, we're going to talk about another topic, and I've got a couple choices. I'm going to choose this one. Dabo Swinney said that we need to just blow up college football and start all over again. You got the NIL stuff going on, number one. You got all these people migrating to the SEC, number two. And Dabo's like, this is just crazy. He's taken a lot of heat from reporters for the things that he's saying, not just reporters. I think there's other people out there who are calling him out and all this other stuff. Irv, talk to me. What do you think about the transfer portal is crazy. I know. But what do you think, Irv? What do you think about what's going on?
College sports as a whole is at a point where it's drifting towards being that semi-pro thing.
Mm-hmm.
You can do whatever you want. You can go wherever you want. If you're upset, just leave. But it's hard to say blow up what college football is doing right now, because it's still just as popular as it was 15 20 years ago when it was at its height. I don't know, man. Like, I think he's saying it because of the freedom that the players are getting now. But you're not going to be able to change anything that's going on in college football right now.
Wow. Ms. Peters said Louisiana just passed a law that said high school players can get paid for their likeness too now. So going all the way to high school with it. Let me say this, though, and I know this because this kind of hit home with me today. A former player who hadn't been gone that long. I've only been at North Gwinnett. This will be my 6th year.
Okay.
So one of our players who went off to college went to his college coach and asked for an amount of money and a car, because he said he was being offered this by other colleges if he would come to their college. So the coach told him that they couldn't do that and wouldn't do that. So the kid hit the transfer portal. And, next thing you know, he's tweeting himself with the car and yada, yada, yada. So, again, I'm using names to protect the innocent. But that's why if that's what college football has gotten to, guys, I mean, maybe we do need to start over. I mean, that to me is crazy, because that doesn't even sound like college football. I mean, how can you define that as not being professional? I mean, if colleges are out there able to say, hey, if you come to our college, we will give you money and a car, or we will give you money, or we will give you women and cars, or we will give you whatever. I mean, how does that? Why is that not professional sports? I mean, for the longest time, the NCAA has been trying to maintain the amateurism of athletes. Back when I was playing, it was such that you could not even have a job while you were going to college if you were on scholarship. If I said, listen, I'm black man, I'm the black Superman. I can go days without sleep. So therefore, I'm gonna work 2 jobs and maintain my GPA and maintain my status as an all-American athlete because I can do it. They say, yeah, you can do it, but it's illegal for you to do it. So if that's the case, and it's illegal it was illegal for me to do that, how in the world are you letting all this stuff go on now, where colleges are openly soliciting athletes to come to their schools for whatever? I mean, and I don't know how you fix that. Like he said, maybe it does need to be a blow. I don't know, but something needs to happen in order to get that on. I don't know what we lost. Irv, Travis.
Yeah, his camera froze, so I don't know. We talked about this a year ago when all this NIL stuff was coming on, right? On this show. And I was the only one on the show that said I hated this. Mm-hmm. I hated the NIL. Mm-hmm. And this is the reason why. This is exactly what I was afraid was going to happen. And I hate it.
But Travis, the NIL shouldn't have anything to do with what we're talking about, because the NIL is this. The NIL protects the athlete, because at the end of the day, you are paying me to come to your college or paying for my books, tuition, and all that. You are not paying to when I become a star athlete to now use my name, image, and likeness to profit and not give me any of it. Because at the end of the day, you're not doing that to all these other people on this team. Treat me like you treat everybody else. Why aren't you putting their numbers on jerseys and everything? You're putting my number on jerseys because I'm an All-American, because I'm first team this, I'm first team that, I'm breaking records, I'm doing all of these things. And now in the bookstore, you have my number on every shirt in there. Are you giving me any of that money? No. If you're not taking me for granted, then just put 22 on all the jerseys in the bookstore. The year is 2022. So just put 22 on all those shirts and see how many you sell. When you put my number, which was 6 on there, and my name, Mitchell, on there, and they just rolling off the racks in here, you can't even keep them in here, why should I not get some of that? That's what the NIL thing is all about. That's all it is. If you're going to use my name, image, and likeness, then I should get some of it. That's what it was supposed to be about. Now, it's morphed into where colleges can say that they're going to give you money in a car. What the hell does that have to do with NIL? That's what I'm saying. That has nothing to do with what the damn problem is. The problem is that if you're going to stick me on a billboard with the head coach to sell trucks, and then trucks now they sell 100 trucks because of that ad you put up there, why shouldn't I get some of that? Because you're using my name, image, and likeness. That's what that's supposed to be about.
Okay, I was back.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
We can hear you, but your camera keeps on freezing and stuff, but you're good.
Yeah.
But that's all I'm saying. That's my point is that, and again, do we need to quote unquote blow it up? I don't know. But I think something needs to happen because people are taking advantage of the situations. And if you ask me, we're going to watch a damn YouTube video on this one day about how the NCAA is sitting back not doing anything because they want to be able to do, I told you so, we told you so, we told you so, because the NCAA say, hey, y'all go do it. Everybody can go do it. Do what you want to do. We don't care. Because they wanted this to happen so they can look back now and give themselves a reason for existence because they don't really have a reason for existence. And now they're trying to create themselves one that, oh, okay, well, hey, now that Dabo Swinney and all these coaches are all up in airs about this NIL stuff. Here we go. We're going to ride in and save the day. That's what they want to do. And nobody needs the NCAA for that. Nobody needs the NCAA for that. What they do, though, is they need to put these jokers in check who are violating this whole NIL thing. And they need to make it what it's about. When you are taking somebody's name, image, or likeness, are you going to stick me up on a doggone horse with a crown on my head and all that to sell shampoo or whatever the hell I'm selling, then I should get some of it. Right. And you got me in a damn Clemson jersey or Georgia Bulldog jersey or whatever, and you selling Twinkies, then I need to get me some of that Twinkie money. That's what it's supposed to be about, not this other shit that everybody's making. Go ahead, Irv. I'm sorry.
You good? I'm listening because you speaking nothing but facts right now. But it's legit got out of hand. Before it was like not well known that people was getting money under the table. Now people are just blatantly throwing it out there. Listen, this coach offered me $2,000 every other week. Or that's just a ballpark. I'm throwing out there. My mom's getting a job or all this other good stuff. So what you gonna give me? Education. Okay, it was nice knowing you.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
But it's crazy because now, like, I'm throwing it back to the transfer portal. For me, going to 3 different schools in 4 or 5 years is like, how are you actually getting a good education on that? Because
I agree.
Styles going, like, it's a young lady that just left Maryland and went to NC State, but this is her 3rd school in 4 years. Like, how can you get comfortable? Like, I guess in some type of way you could say it's training you for your next endeavor after school, because a lot of people don't stay in one building when you get to that point after school. But it's just basically in shambles. Like the transfer portal, too many people are taking advantage of it. But also, so it was a statistic that I saw, like only 60% of these kids that's going in the transfer portal are actually going to new schools. So are you sure you're making the right decision right now? Like,
yeah, I'm gonna keep it real with her. If I was an employer and I had the resume of somebody who'd been to 3 schools in 4 years, I wouldn't hire.
Yeah,
I'm telling you that right now. But like, I ain't waste my money and my training and my time on you. I know you finna get up out of here once we teach you everything and all that. You just gonna leave and go. Man, I'm not gonna do that. I mean, that goes for a lot of things, because that's like, I'm not going to bring in a student who doesn't have at least like a 3.3 GPA, because I'm not going to train you and do this, that, and the other. You're going to flunk out of here and all that. And I'm sitting up here wasting time because you're going to flunk out. And now I could have spent that on an athlete that was going to come in here, pay attention, keep his grades up, all that, and be an asset to me. And you're not going to be an asset to me. So, and I tell that to players all the time. That's the way college coaches think. That's why you need to have your academics together before you go to school or try to go to school. So anyway, it looks like Irv froze on us again. So, folks, we got to get out of here. It's 9:04. I know it's 9:05. Listen, we had some great talk tonight, and I appreciate y'all so much. I saw Ray Miller in here. I saw the PVs, Mr. and Mrs., Mr. Hood. As always, Mr. Butler. Did I see Mr. Butler? Didn't I see Mr. Butler, Travis? I thought I saw Mr. Butler. Maybe I did. I know Tom was in here. I thought I saw Mr. Butler. Maybe I did. But anyway, guys, great talk tonight. Great participation. Again, Guy Lee is full of comments tonight. So, Tom, appreciate y'all. Hood, I'm glad to see you back in the building. All you guys. Oh, Joe. That's who I saw. I know I saw Joe Fleischer. Joe Fleischer was in here. So we appreciate all y'all. Guys, that was some good conversation tonight. Yeah, Irv said, sorry, guys. His computer shut off. So anyway, good night, Miss Peavy. You too, Tom. Have a kick-ass evening, as you put it. Folks, we'll see y'all next week. Good night, Miss Francis.
From the hip.
You said Adidas.